Shalom, shalom, shalom. All praises to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, which is to say in the Paleo Hebrew, Yahweh, which is the name of our Heavenly Father, meaning He is, Bahashem, meaning in the name, Yahweh Shai, meaning He is our salvation. And that is who the world ignorantly calls Jesus, a so-called black man. Okay? And they are agents amongst us. There are agents, undercover agents at that, amongst us. Okay? Now we're going to get that word undercover and see what it entails, because this person that you see on the screen right here was a FBI undercover agent, and he went in and infiltrated many organizations. Okay, one of them was, I believe, the Outlaws. Another one was this neo-Nazi group, and so on and so forth. This is what they do. They dress the part, they act the part. Okay, and in this clip right here, I'm going to show you, or I'm going to let him explain to you how he went to every meeting, okay? And eventually, they say that's what gave him up, because he was, keen to every little detail, all right? Went to every meeting on time, showed up, and everything, okay? All while gathering intel to bring down these organizations/gangs, okay? Now you can bet your bottom dollar that there are agents, undercover agents at that, infiltrating certain Israelite groups, certain Israelite organizations, and just certain individual Israelites in general. Okay, they're agents amongst the brethren. Okay, pretending to be a brethren, doing what's asked of them, all together intel, okay? Trying to trap you up in your speech, okay? All while playing the part as being one that's in the faith. So that's why you have to be careful what you say and keep it, keep the conversation pertaining to the word, okay? And we're going to get a few precepts going into that, all right? So just remember, there are agents amongst, the Israelite community, okay? Pretending to be a brother, doing whatever is required and asked of him, all the while they're collecting intel for the enemy, Esau, Edom, okay? And not to say that in that same regard that you may have agents, undercover agents, that come in to infiltrate and try to, get you to be and do and have things on you that can incriminate you. But the Most High can flip it, and they can be what? Born again. Okay, here it is. They were given a mission to what? Go in, play the part, do what's asked of them, required of them by whatever organization or whatever Israelite that they talking to, and the Most High can flip it and have them to be what? Born again and have a renewing of mind by doing everything, okay? So there's no need to worry, all right? There's no need to worry if there's agents among you, as long as you're doing the word and doing what's required of you, okay? You're going to be okay, all right? So let's let this play. Like I said, we're going to get an undercover look at that definition, then we're going to get a few precepts, all right? So here it is. Let's let it play.
They pick up pestilence at his house. So by Friday, it's starting to come out. And now I'm in the main chat. I haven't responded. I'm not answering anybody, but like, has anybody seen Pale Horse? Look at this, so-and-so and so-and-so. And it's going and it's going. And it's like, wait a minute. This report says there's a federal agent that infiltrated us. And they're like, who the hell's the Fed in here? And I'm just waiting, and I'm waiting. And Nazaro figured it out. He goes, he attended every training, which could be a red flag I should have picked on, something like that. And as soon as he started saying that, I go, oh, he knows it's me. He's figured.
See? So this guy attended every training and did everything that was required of him. And sometimes that could be telling within itself, you know? So you never know who's an agent and who isn't, okay? So you have to keep this thing, based on the truth, okay? You might have somebody that want to try to get you to say something incriminating or say something like that, or no, everything comes out of thus saith the Lord, man. Okay. You may have some brothers that you think you cool with, because this is how these undercover, agents work. They get in good with you. They, may have a drink or two with you, get you to open up, say something that you shouldn't say, but you feel, ease around them. You feel at ease around them because they've been, rocking with you, okay? But not knowing this is all part of the act, okay? This is all part of why they were hired to go in and infiltrate, okay? So that they can what? Get some incriminating evidence on you. By all means necessary. So that's why you got to keep it strict, keep it strict about the Bible, and you can't go wrong, man. Okay? So let's hear a little bit more of this, and then we'll get some precepts.
Now, and somewhere around like 5:15 on a Friday night, it was like, Roman Wolf has removed you. So I screenshotted that and sent it to all the case teams, and I put, and I'm out. And that was it. We took that one down.
Oh my God! So there you have it. That was the end of his. That was the end of his intel. He got what he needed, and he's out. Okay. That was the end, all right? And he's an FBI undercover agent, all right? And you can trust and believe there are, if not FBI, they may have CIA, they may have whatever, all right? It may be even a group, because there's a particular group, that's doing some agent type activity by joining hand with other organizations like the Nation of Islam. All right, you know that group, IUIC. All right, here it is. They going in complete, total opposition of what the Bible says by joining hand in hand with non-believers. Okay, so like I said, you may have organizations that's sold out, that's completely switched over, did the 180. Now they doing agent-like activity. You may have individuals within organizations that's posing as, a brother, but all the while they're undercover FBI agent or whatever. And you may have just brothers that's rocking out by themselves that get approached by other, assuming genuine brothers or whatever, and those could be agents. So we have to make sure our conversation is holy, man. All right? When you make sure that your conversation is holy, you can't go wrong according to the scriptures, all right? So let's get that word undercover, and then we'll take it from there, all right? Give me 1 second. All right, so this is what an undercover agent is according to AI, Google. It says an undercover agent is someone who secretly gathers information while disguised to gain the trust of a target individual or organization. So, like I said, you can bet there's undercover agents. What agency they work for, I couldn't tell you. It could be the FBI, it could be the CIA, it could be any of these alphabet, agencies. Okay? But you can bet that they have set up agents, spies, whatever you want to call them, in the midst of these organizations, and just to come up to brothers in general to see what type of interaction they can get by engaging in conversation. Okay? And they may be recording you and you have no clue because they got so many gadgets that can record without you knowing, like these glasses that this guy got on, or a tie that can record, okay? And just looking to trip you up in your speech so that they can have something on you for later on when it comes to the time of persecution. Okay? It goes on to say they may work for private investigators or law enforcement agencies. Okay? So, yeah, there's agents amongst brethren and in certain organizations and groups. Okay? That's why you have to make sure all your conversation is holiness. Okay? Don't get caught up in folly. All right? And I know you may think that brother's cool. Okay? But that's the whole point. They have to infiltrate. They have to get you to lower your guard or drop your guard to get some type of dirt on you. Okay? So that's why you have to be careful what you say and speak according to the Bible. All right? Because they are setting the stage for persecution. Okay? One way or another. They would love to get you on camera or on video incriminating yourself. But if not, they'll manufacture something to bring you down. Okay? So that's why we have to keep our conversation holy. Matter of fact, let's get that. Okay? Give me 1 second to pull that up. All right, this is the book of 1 Peter, chapter 1, and verse 15. It reads, "But as he which hath called you is holy, so be ye holy in all manner of conversation." See? So when you apply these scriptures to your everyday life, you don't give the enemy no fuel to come up against you. Okay? You don't get caught up in his snares. All right? Because make no mistake about it, he's setting a snare, a trap for you to fall into it. Okay? That's why you keep your conversation holy pertaining to this word. Okay? Don't let the enemy set you up to get you out of your, I don't want to use comfort zone, but to get you out of your, your guard, where he can get you to drop your guard and say something that you shouldn't say. Okay? Keep it strictly about the word, man. All right? Because you don't know who is infiltrating, whatever organization you may be in or whatever, if you do, let's say you just doing it by yourself for the time being. You don't know. All right? You may have a individual come up to you while you preaching and seem sincere as he wants. All right, but he tries to get you to switch over or switch, over to that folliness. Okay, keep it strictly according to the word, man. Okay, because that's why we out here. We're out here to preach the word, and we're out here to be instant, in season and out of season. Okay, so that we can what, keep the spirit. All right. So it says, "But as he which have called you is holy, so be ye holy in all manner of conversation." Right? That means we're supposed to be separate, set apart from all other manner of conversation, okay, that doesn't pertain to the scripture. All right? Now you might, talk about the game or whatever, but overall you keep it this word. This is what the majority, this is what the bulk concentration of our ministry is preaching this word, man. Like I said, you may talk about the game, what happened, but you always get back to what you are meant to do, which is what? Preaching this word. Cause see, they'll get you to lower your guard, talk about the game, and then next thing you know, they done got you out of your, out of your spirit, and they done got you to incorporating folliness, man. All right? That's what an undercover agent does, okay? They try to get intel on you by any means necessary. It says, verse 16, "Because it is written, be ye holy, for I am holy." All right? So we're supposed to be holy because who? Yahweh is holy. All right? And so is Yahweh Shai. So we got to keep it all about the word, man. Okay? especially while we teaching. All right. So yeah, like I said, a brother may, hey, you seen the game, you seen, the Lakers versus the T Wolves. You say, yeah, or no, I don't, whatever. All right. But you keep it majority about this truth, man. That way you can't get caught up. Okay. That way you can't get caught up. Because we seen in the opening lesson, the dude went to all the meetings, man. He did everything that was required of him to the point that they said that got to be an agent because he follows everything to the T. He shows up to all the meetings on time. He never misses a meeting. He's like, man, what what member do you know that shows up to the meetings on time and don't miss not a one? None. That's why they said he had to be an agent. And they were right. Okay. So amongst the brethren, you're gonna have brethren that play the part to the T. Do what's required and ask for them. They preaching, they making videos, they going out, they apparel looks the part, but that's all part of being undercover. Okay? To what? Blend in. And like I stated earlier, the Most High could turn their mind that was once going to go against you to what? Now they being converted through you. Okay? So you never know how the Most High works, man. That's why you got to make sure you keep your conversation holy, man. All right? Now, let's go to give me 1 second. Philippians 2. And let's read verse 15. Because we don't want to be blamed. We don't want to get this ministry blamed, okay? So it's important that we do exactly what's required and ask for us. Ask from us. And that is to what? Philippians 2 and 15. It reads, that ye may be blameless and harmless, the sons of the Most High, without rebuke, in the midst of a crooked and perverse nation. You see? So no, we ain't gonna talk about, oh man, you wanna see, be careful once a brethren gets in good with you, then he started talking about, things that don't pertain to the Bible and in actuality go in contrary to the Bible. Oh yeah, did you go see that movie? That ain't that harmful. But then they'll ask you questions like, man, I sure would like to, do that chick right there, knowing that chick got a husband. Okay? Whether it's a celebrity or whatever. See, they gonna be subtle like that. Cause you gotta know they did the homework before they come into an organization or group or individual for that matter. They studied that individual or group and know what they preach and practice. So what do they want to do? They want to get you to lower your guard, and then when they got you at where they feel like you comfortable to talk around them and open up, then they want to get you to, go against what you preach so that you could be what? As a hypocrite. Okay? And be careful, it don't got to be a brother. It could be a woman. They could send a woman in, just like Samson and Delilah. Okay, they use a woman to get Samson to open up to her and tell her how is he so strong. You see, Samson would have kept it, based on, the word. Hey, it would have been all right, man. He wasn't supposed to reveal his strength, man. But see, they sent the woman in. And he fell victim to that in love demon, man. You ain't supposed to be in love with a woman. All right? Okay? They don't always got to send a brother. A brother, they'll set it up where you might come in contact with a woman. And now you open it up to her. So be mindful of these things, man. That's why you keep all conversation holy. All right? Because like I said, they'll get you to talk, and then next thing you know, it done went from talking about the game to a movie to now they talking about, man, you see that celebrity? What you think about Jada Pinkett Smith sleeping with other dudes? And you would mess around and say, yeah, you know what? I wouldn't mind tapping that, knowing she got a husband, man. Okay? Knowing she got a husband, that's red flags there, man. Be mindful of these things, man. Okay? So it says, Philippians 2:15, that ye may be blameless and harmless, the sons of the Most High, without rebuke. You see, they want to catch you where they can give you a bad report so you can be rebuked, and they're going to use it. They're going to use that. If they get you to open up on camera, audio, whatever, and they got you, trust and believe they're going to plaster it when it's time for persecution. Okay? It says, in the midst of a crooked and perverse nation, among whom ye shine as lights in the world. That's right. We supposed to have our conversation in all holiness. We supposed to shine as lights in the world. Okay? We're not supposed to be part of this world, having conversations of this world that goes against the scriptures. Okay? And that's what these agents looking to do, man. Gather whatever type of intel they can to bring forth so that they get ready to persecute. They got what? They got you saying all type of things that you didn't even know you said. But because you feel comfortable around that brother or that chick, that girl, that woman, you open up and you deviated from the scriptures, man. Okay? So that's why we got to just keep it according to the scripture. And guess what? You can't go wrong, man. You can't go wrong. So this is this is the book of, let's get that. This is the book of St. John. Oh, 1 John, Salakia. Chapter 2 and verse 19. This is 1 John 2 and 19. It says, they went out from us, but they were not of us. For if they had been of us, they would no doubt have continued with us. But they went out that they might be made manifest that they were not all of us. So you're going to have brothers that seem like they down for the cause and, they with you 100%, but then they going to find a reason to, leave or whatever, especially after they got whatever it is that they looking for. All right? So it's agents amongst these groups, these organizations, and there's agents coming up to camps. There's agents, trying to infiltrate camps. There's agents just to be agents, okay? Undercover agents at that. All right? So this is a very crucial time that we're in and going into. All right? And if they plaster and put, whatever you say that whatever you say will and can be used against you up for whatever time it is, it could very much well rock your foundation to the point that you fall out because you feel ashamed. And rightfully so, man. If you going up against, if you saying one thing, preaching this Bible, and then saying and doing something totally different, you should feel ashamed. All right? And hey, man, this devil, Esau Edom, hey, he got no problem with getting dirt on you. Okay? So that's why you just keep it pertaining to the Bible. Okay? So it says 1 John 2:19, they went out from us, but they were not of us. You see? You're going to have individuals come in, they're going to, rock with you for a moment, get you to open up, and then all of a sudden, then you ain't gonna see them, or they gonna find a way to, remove themselves, you know, and you gonna think that brother was, damn, you gonna think that brother was cool, but then you gonna think back, oh man, you gonna see the signs, but by that time it's gonna be too late. It says, for if they had been of us, they would no doubt have continued with us. You see? And, sometimes it's because the Most High removed the spirit from off of them that they fell out. But also, they could be agents too. Undercover agents. Okay? So that's why you just can't go wrong by keeping your conversation pertaining to this Bible. It says, but they went out that they might be made manifest that they were not all of us, right? Sometimes the Most High remove the spirit from off of them, because you have brothers that fall out of the truth all the time, man. The Most High just ain't dealing with them. And then they go back into the world as a 2/3, all right? But then you got some that are actually playing the part of an undercover agent, all right? Whether it's private or whether it's said for law enforcement agencies. Whatever it is, they just playing the part. All right? And that's part of the walk in this ministry, that as they persecuted Yahushua, they're going to persecute us as well. This is John 15 in verse 18. It says, if the world hate you, ye know that it hated me before it hated you. If ye were of the world would love his own. But because you are not of the world, but I have chosen you out of the world, therefore the world hateth you. Here it is, verse 20. Remember the word that I say unto you, the servant, which is us, is not greater than his Lord, Yahushua. If they have persecuted me, this is Yahushua speaking, they will also persecute you, the servant. So guess what? They're going to come with that same slander. They're going to look to trip us up in our speech, just like they tried to trip up Yahushua in his speech. Okay? Asking him, who is he? Okay? Trying to get him to, slip up in his speech and trip him up so that he could be persecuted when they gave him that coin and said, who should we pay tribute to? And Yahushua said, who faces on it? And they said, Caesar. He said, well, give, roughly paraphrasing, give honor or tribute to Caesar and give that which belongs to the Most High. So they going to try to trip us up just as if they tripped up Yahushua, man. And they going to send those agents undercover, could be a brother, could be a woman. Ain't going to get you to try to say something you shouldn't say. But that's why you got to keep your conversation pertaining to the scriptures. Keep it holy. It says, if they have kept my saying, they will keep yours also. Right. Like I said earlier, you may have agents that come in looking to get dirt on you or to trip you up. And just through your conversation being holy, you may convert them into the faith, man. You don't know how the Most High works, man. All right, this is all Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah, movie, man. All right, we just proud to be doing the work, having the opportunity of doing the work, man. Okay, and it feels good, So we bring these lessons out, to edify ourselves and to edify the flock as well, man. All right, because every brother has to work out his own salvation with fear and trembling. So let's go to Luke. Is that 20? And I think it's verse 20. This is Luke 20:20. It says, and they watched him and sent forth spies, agents. Let's see what that word spies in the Greek yields.
Strong's G 1455. Ekathetos. Ekathetos.
And kathetos. And it goes into secretly to lie in wait. So you had these spies just waiting, seeing what they could, roll up on, catch him in a saying, in a speech, and trip him up. It says secretly to lie in wait a spy.
Spy.
A person who secretly collects and reports information on the activities, movements, and plans of an enemy or competitor. We are looked at as an enemy in Esau Edom's eyes because why? We're prophesying against his kingdom, and he will love none other than to trip us up in our speech, get us rebuked, and plaster whatever he can in the day of persecution against us. Okay? So that's why we must keep this about the word, man. Okay? As it says in John 3, he must increase, I must decrease. Okay? It's all about Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. All right? So let's go back. It says, one who is bribed by others to entrap a man by crafty words. Right. These undercover agents, these spies, they're bribed by whatever alphabet organization they come from to try to entrap the men of the Lord, to get them to slip up in their speech so that they can have something on them that they can roll in and persecute them. Okay, but our Barathasar, we are that number. We gonna see it and stay, focused on having our main topic based around this word. Okay, that way we can't get tripped up because they would love none other than to trip us up in our speech. All right, but that's why we got to keep this thing pertaining to the truth, man. So it says, Luke 20:20, and they watched him and sent forth spies, which should feign themselves just men. See, they try to play the part as being a just man. Oh yeah, we're sincere. Can we ask you this question? All the while they got ulterior motives, man. Here it is, you got a brother that's been, coming up to the camp or holding posts for a couple of months or a couple of years, all to get you to open up, so he can get you to say something, as he would say, off record, but they're going to use that, okay? Or you got a woman that came up to the camp, oh yeah, I like what you said, playing the damsel part to the T, okay? Oh, you mind if I get your number? The next thing you know, you vibing with the little chick, and now you open up, you saying things you ought not to say, okay? She got you saying things, oh, what do you think about, all type of sexual misdevious acts, okay? So keep it pertaining to the Bible, man. All right, because you don't know, these women, they love to get you to do pillow talk, man. Here it is, you done had intercourse with her, now you laying in the bed, opening up to her, and now she talking back to you, and you don't know she got a recording device in her hair. She already know who you is. But see, you feel like you done laid it down on her. She wasn't there doing something like that to you. That's why, for the most part, you don't even tell these women what you do, man. Okay? Because you don't know, man. We in the time where we got to be on our P's and Q's, man. All right? It says, which should feign themselves just men, that they might take hold of his words. You see? So they wanted to play the part of a just man so that they may take hold of his words, that so they might deliver him unto the power and authority of the governor. They got ulterior motives, man. They want you to slip up. They want you to deviate from the truth. They want that so that what? They can deliver you to the governor, to the appropriate alphabet organization. Okay? That's what they looking for. Okay? But that's why we got to keep it what? Based on the scriptures. Proverbs 3 and verse 5. Says, trust in Yahweh with all thy heart, and lean not unto thy own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. You see? So as long as we acknowledge Yahweh and we trust in Yahweh, he's going to direct our paths, okay? So the enemy is looking to, take us out. But as it says in Isaiah 54, no weapon formed against thee shall prosper. Didn't say that it wouldn't form. It said it shouldn't prosper. Isaiah 54 and 17. No weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper. So whatever they do, you keep it pertaining to this scripture, you good, man. All right? They ain't going to prosper. Trust me. Don't trust me, Salakia. Trust the word. Okay? It says, no weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper, and every tongue that shall rise against thee in judgment, thou shalt condemn. So when they bring you in front of the judges and the magistrates, and they bring you up on these trumped up charges, don't think what to say. It'll be given to you in that hour. The Holy Spirit is going to talk through you for a testimony, as it says in Luke 21, right around 17. Yeah, Luke 21 and 15. 14. Settle it therefore in your hearts not to meditate before what ye shall answer, for I will give you a mouth and wisdom, which all your adversaries shall not be able to gainsay nor resist. Okay? So it's going to be given up to you, as it says here in 12. But before all these, they shall lay their hands on you and persecute you. We read it in John 15. Delivering you up to the synagogues and into prisons, being brought before kings and rulers for my name's sake, and it shall turn to you for a testimony. See? Goes on to say, 14, settle it therefore in your hearts, not to meditate before what ye shall answer. For I will give you a mouth and wisdom, which all your adversaries shall not be able to gainsay nor resist. Okay? So we can't lose as long as we are part of the elect and we keep this thing pertaining to the truth. That's why we read in Isaiah 54 and 17 that what? No weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper. That includes undercover agents. That includes spies. That includes women. Okay? You keep this thing based on this scripture, on the word, and you're good. Thus saith the Lord. All right? Trust in Yahweh with all thy heart, and lean not unto thy own understanding, and acknowledge him in all thy ways, and he shall direct thy path. So Isaiah 54 and 17 says, no weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper, and every tongue that rises against thee in judgment thou shalt condemn. Right? We're going to give a testimony for Yahweh's sake. And they're going to be condemned. It says, this is the heritage of the servants of Yahweh, which is his prophets, and their righteousness is of me, saith Yahweh. Right. That's why it says, blessed are thee when they are persecuted for righteousness' sake. Because why? Because, let's read it. Matthew 5 and verse, what is that? 10. St. Matthew 5 and 10. Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. You see? No weapon formed against thee shall prosper. You know? Every tongue that come up against thee, thou shalt condemn. Why? Because we're going to give it's going to be for a testimony of Yahweh. And blessed are those of us that are persecuted for righteousness' sake, because why? The kingdom of heaven is ours. Okay? So don't worry, man. You know, as we get closer to this thing coming to an end, Esau Edom is going to send agents up to the camp. They're going to send agents as brothers posing as, you know, wanting to be members, wanting to do the work. As we read in Luke 20:20, it says they were feigned men pretending to be just. You're going to send brothers that's pretending to be just, but in all actuality, they're trying to get you to get trapped up in your words. They're going to send women, just like Samson, okay? Just like Samson. They sent who? Delilah. Trying to get it. Give me 1 second. So you see here Delilah trying to get Samson. It says, and Delilah said to Samson, tell me, I pray thee, wherein thy great strength lieth, and wherewith thou mightest be bound to afflict thee. And Samson said unto her, if they bind me with 7 green withs that were never dry, then shall I be weak and be as another man. So you see, he wasn't telling her his true strength of how he can, you know, possess this might. He was giving her, you know, misdirection. He was misdirecting her. Because to an extent, he knew she was trying to get, you know, him to reveal his source of power. Okay? That Yahweh that Yahweh had told the angel to tell his mom and his dad that he would be a Nazarite. Okay? Meaning what? That he wouldn't drink the wine or bring a razor to his head. That's where his strength would come from. Okay? But this woman, being a Philistine, wanted him to reveal to her how he got his power so that she could be used as a agent or a spy to get information, report it back as intel, and then the Philistines could come in and take him. Because without that, he could take down 1,000 men with just the ass jawbone. You see? So 10 says, and Delilah said to Samson, behold, thou hast mocked me and told me lies. Now tell me, I pray thee, wherewith thou mightest be bound. So it just went on and on till Samson finally told her. Okay? So they going to use women, you know, coming up to the camp, you know, may even come on your comment board, you know, trying to get you to exchange emails and numbers and this and that and go out and do this. And they know what you about. And, you know, hey, but fear none of these things, okay? As long as you're doing right by Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, they can't touch you. It's only when you go off do you allow them to then be able to use something against you, and then they can touch you. As long as you keep this word in all truth and sincerity, and you do what's required and asked of you, they don't have anything on you. And if they try to bring something on you with some trumped up charges and you get persecuted, well, blessed are those that are persecuted for righteousness' sake. For theirs is the kingdom of heaven. All right? So there's no losing in this walk as long as you do what's required and asked of you. 1 Peter 5:8 reads what? Be sober, be vigilant. Why? Because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour. He would love none other than to have you to say something or open up and do something that you shouldn't do according to the scriptures. And like I said, this devil does his due diligence. All right? He may have studied you for weeks or months on end. And now he feels like he knows that he can send somebody up there to you, whether it's while you're preaching out on the highway and hedges, whether it's on a comment board, whether it's whatever, okay? They may establish a rapport with you and get you to open up, and next thing you know, hey, they got you. Because why? You didn't keep all conversation holy, all right? You can't go wrong if you keep everything holy. So what? They don't like that. Guess what? That just means they not of the elect. The elect ain't gonna have no issue of just keeping things holy in all manner. Oh yeah, you want to go out and get some ribs? I ain't gonna tell nobody, man. Come on, man. We good, man. You know, we good. Let's just go get a junior bacon cheeseburger, man. Let's get some real quick, man. Ain't nobody gonna notice, man. Ain't nobody gonna know, man. Come on, man. Let's get some shrimp fried rice, man. Ain't nobody gonna know, man. Don't worry about it, man. Let's go to the strip joint. I'm gonna treat you. You see that bad chick right over there? Yeah, her. That's Destiny. She married, but you know, her old man don't care about her coming to the strip club and dancing on you, man. Go ahead and let her get a lap, man. Go ahead and let her give you a lap dance. I got it. It's on me. See? If you ain't put off that old man, you can fall victim to any of that. Because why? You ain't keeping your conversation holy, man. You know you ain't supposed to eat no damn swan. You know you ain't supposed to be letting a married woman grind all up on you, man. Because you're going to want to lust after her. And here it is. He done already told you that her name Destiny and her old man don't care that she out here because they swinging. They don't care. And you thinking, damn, well, they do that. I don't see no, man, you know, come on, man. Keep this thing about the word, man. Don't tempt yourself. Yeah, that's Destiny over there. Oh man, they swingers. They swingers, man. You know, he'll let her come out to the strip joint, you know, dance all over an individual, and then he may even let her go back into the boom boom room and give him some fellatio or whatever. Here it is, you don't let your lust take over, man. Come on, keep things what? Pertaining to the Holy Bible in all manner. Keep them holy. They done got you drunk. Now you done had, see, you putting the ministry in blame now. Man, just get one drink. Then it's two. Now they really got you. See? Be sober. Be vigilant. Man, just keep everything pertaining to the Bible, man. One drink turned into two, two turned into three. Next thing you know, you feeling loose as a goose. Don't get me started. They done played the song. Now you know Destiny was already married, but now you loose as a goose. You going back into the old man. Now you grabbing on her, trying to coast her to grind on you, man. And she whispering in your ear, let's go back to the boom boom room. Next thing you know, you back there banging her. Man, come on, man. And she got all of it on film. And then next week they put it out on whatever social media. Now you got to go off and duck off somewhere in shame, and because you knew better. Don't let it take you, man. Don't let these agents, these spies, try to get any type of filth or dirt on you. So just keep everything about the word, man. All right? Just keep everything about the word. You can't go wrong, man. Like I said, okay, you may talk about the game, who won the Lakers or the T-Wolves or the Rockets or the, whoever they playing or the Clippers or the Nuggets. Okay. But, be mindful of that, okay? Because that could just be a Trojan horse to get you to open up about other things, all right? So as long as you're doing what's asked of you, you being sober, you being vigilant, you can't go wrong, all right? Because if you don't, trust and believe the devil is waiting waiting off in the bushes over there to come up there and get his turn. It says, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour. Okay? So with that being said, pray someone was edified through this lesson. And until the next time, if it be the Lord's will, stay strong, stay in the faith. We almost home. Shalom. Peace.